Hey everyone, so I want to talk about AMD. They are about to release the 3950X R9 CPU. As of today, it's 16th or 17th. It's actually the 19th. Where those last few days go? Anyway, so reviews for it are already out and it looks incredible. But it's not the CPU for everybody. They've pulled off an amazing feat. It is the first mainstream CPU to have 16 cores and 32 threads. Also with a max single core boost clock of 4.7, it actually isn't a slouch. But it's that core count and thread counts that, as well as the price, that really make it not for everybody. And it's not really supposed to be for everybody. So its recommended retail is $750 USD. It's expected that it's going to cost more at launch because every other Ryzen 3000 part was excessively in demand, especially when you got to the higher tiers. So it's expected that it's going to cost more than its recommended retail to counter the demand. And that puts it a little bit over $250 more expensive than Intel's 9900K, slightly under $250 more expensive than the 9900KS, and around about $300 more expensive than the 9900KF. So it is more expensive. No matter which way you look at it, it's not double the price of any of Intel's flagship mainstream CPUs. So you're getting twice the core count for not even double the price. So it's somewhat a good deal. And okay, it clocks slower, but when you start adding more and more cores, it's harder to hit higher clocks. And the Zen architecture, or Zen Plus or Zen 2, anything Ryzen actually, isn't known for hitting core clocks like Intel CPUs can. And also, while comparing cost, 16 cores, 32 threads, that's a core count in the HEDT range, so high-end desktop CPUs. So you got the i9-19920X, which is a 12-core, 24-thread part. That costs about $450 more expensive than the 3950X from AMD. AMD's part has more cores and costs less. And when we look at it, i9-9980XC, lots of numbers, that costs $1,200 more expensive than the 3900X, and it's only 18 cores and 36 threads. I like how I say it's only, like, it's so casual. It's only got 18 cores. That's a decent core count, let's face it. But you're getting 2 extra cores, 4 extra threads for more than double the price. The 3950X is in a very particular, it's a very unique position because it's a mainstream processor. So it fits on the AM4 platform, which is amazing. I'm not quite sure if I would personally recommend putting it into a B450 or a X470 board, if that is possible. It depends on the board partners, if they make BIOSes that allow it to be put on, mainly because the VRM for those boards may not be able to support it entirely. But the X570s, and well, should be as well, the B550 boards that are coming out eventually, are made for it. A little bit better VRM solutions as well as cooling solutions for those VRMs. And not to mention that also AMD has recently increased the recommended cooling. I'm not entirely sure what it originally was, but they are now recommending at least a 280mm all-in-one liquid cooler. So you need a fair bit of cooling. Don't get me wrong, you can go with less. You can go with a Cooler Master 212. Don't expect that to cool it all. Don't expect that to cool it all too well, but it's the recommendation so that you get the optimal performance at stock settings. And really, in all honesty, even though that Ryzen 3000 is on 7nm, you need to remember that it's going with chiplets. So there's 2 7nm 8-core chips on the CPU, as well as I think it's 14nm memory controller also on the CPU. So doesn't really matter that there is a lot that there is also 16 cores, 32 threads that are going to get hot. So even though 7nm should draw less power, should not even want, well, if it wants less power, it should want less cooling in a way. 16 cores is a lot to begin with. But really, who is the buyer for this processor? If you're only wanting a game, you're not the buyer. I wouldn't even say if you want to game and do some form of video editing that you are the buyer. If you're new to streaming or new to any form of productivity task, you're not the buyer. Personally, I can see businesses that need that core count in their CPUs being the buyer. If you are already doing it, you're doing well, you've got a good stream following, you're streaming, you're a streamer, and you've got a decent following and you just need something a bit better. I think this CPU is going to be awesome because you've got enough cores to deal with the game and more than enough cores to deal with the stream. And the same with anything productivity. If you're already doing it, you're good. You just need an upgrade. This is the CPU for you. Okay, it's a bit expensive, but it's a worthwhile upgrade. Like in all fairness, I've seen some of the reviews and it smashed Premiere Pro quite well, to the point that even though Premiere Pro prefers clock speed over core count, so does Photoshop, the weird productivity applications, it did really well that it's a recommended processor for those tasks. And okay, I haven't reviewed it, obviously, with 9 subscribers and no actual job at the moment. Can't afford to. But from what I have seen of the reviews, it's an awesome processor. So yes, I do recommend watching the reviews first. Figure out if you are the correct buyer. But yes, AMD is just smashing it this year with the Ryzen 3000 launch, the Navi cards. They've got Threadripper 3000 coming up. They've got an Athlon 3000G coming up. The only thing they haven't done all too great this year was the Radeon 7. But yes, they are smashing it. They are doing awesome. And really, even though they aren't doing as good as Intel in all of the games, it's still a decent gaming chip. It's just not a chip I would recommend if you are just gaming. You could save a lot of money and just get a 3800X or an i9-9900K, or if you really want a higher core count, get the 3900X. There are better CPUs for gaming. In my opinion, this isn't at a price point if you are just gaming. If you're an enthusiast, you're going to get it regardless of if you want it or not, and that's up to you. But the target market for this buyer is businesses that need to upgrade their systems but maybe can't afford to go high-end desktop, or someone video editing, other productivity tasks or streaming and have a good following, just need an upgrade so that they can do their job better. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. It's all I have for you. If you did, give it a like. That'll be helpful. If you want to see more content by me, then hit that subscribe button. If you have any suggestions for a video that I can do comment that down in the comment section below. I'll actually have a look at that, as well as seeing if I can do it. Even suggestions on how to make my videos better would be highly appreciated. And I just want to thank you all for watching again. And I hope that you all join me for the next video I upload. See ya.